Hey everybody, welcome back to our channel. We're the Movie Couple. I'm Wendy.
I'm Dustin.
And in this video, we're going to dive into Clone Wars together again. This is episode 8 in the final season of Clone Wars. Also the last episode in the Martez sister arc. So if you haven't seen this episode yet, we're just going to get into some spoiler territories because we're shooting this on a Monday. Which means the episode had been out since Friday, and so this is your spoiler warning. If you haven't seen it yet, kindly put this in your watch later list and come back and watch it once you're caught up. Before we dive into spoilers, let's give you guys a little bit of a non-spoiler recap. Basically, in this episode, we have Ahsoka and the Martez sisters still in jail. How? I don't know. One of them is actually a Jedi, but she's hiding the fact that she's a Jedi, so she can't fully actually use her power, I guess, and they keep ending back up in jail. However, Ahsoka comes up with a plan to help them escape, asks the Martez sisters to trust her, and even though they're a little skeptical, mostly Rafa, the plan actually works. They go along with it, and they go off on their merry way, and that is when Ahsoka finds out more about why the Pikes wants the spice so badly.
Yeah, you know why throughout the entire episode the Pikes just didn't be like, "Whoa, you don't have our spice? Okay, you're dead," because they were actually super desperate because he always knows. And we're sitting here, we're like, we know who he is, but later on in this episode, we actually get to see the hologram of Darth Maul.
Spoiler alert!
Well, we said spoilers, so if you're still here, that's your own fault. And we get to see, I actually like the fact, too, that he was for a second kind of going like through the hologram.
He sensed it.
He sensed something, or he heard or thought something was amiss, and sure enough, Ahsoka was there watching. But this is the thing that I'm really curious about, and this is something that I had hope that they will either explain in the next story arc, is at the end of last season, it was Darth Maul and Asajj Opress, and Savage Opress, and they went up against Darth Sidious. Of course, Savage just they all got their butts whooped, and at the end, the Emperor's like electrocuting him, and he's going, "I have plans for you." I'm wondering what happened between then and that hologram that we see, because that is the closest to the two events that we've ever gotten. I've seen in Rebels where Maul was around, but that's many, many years down the line. So I'm just super curious on how this happened, how Darth Maul, if Darth Sidious is still at this time kind of pulling Darth Maul's strings.
I mean, if you want to look at The Rise of Skywalker, he apparently is pulling everybody's strings.
Very true.
Including his own clone. He could be long dead, and he can still do this and that. So who knows? I don't know if the next 4 story arcs is gonna. The next 4 episodes of the next story arc is gonna give us a look into what happened between that time and now, or up to the current storyline, just because there's so much more to cover. But I would say honestly, this episode was my favorite out of the Martez sister arc. I actually really enjoyed the first episode. I thought it was nice and fun for Ahsoka to be interacting with other people, especially after she's left the Jedi Order and trying to kind of like figure out what life is after Jedi. But then like the middle 2, I was like, I don't know if I like this. But this one, it felt the most Star Wars like to me, because there was a lot of like Ahsoka kind of doing what she does well and having these plans and like hoping that it goes right, and it does, but then they find out she's a Jedi, so there's a little bit of comedy in there, there's a lot of action, and there's all these other characters. Getting to see Maul was great. They dropped the term Crimson Dawn, and you're just like, oh my gosh. And then we see Bo at the end when she takes off her helmet. It's like, we should have known.
Yeah. A part of me was kind of like, I'm pretty sure that's Death Watch. But seeing how you didn't see like the blue of the armor, they were completely covered. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's who it is. It's the Death Watch guard that was with, I can't remember his name, but the one that Darth Maul ended up killing, who had the Darksaber.
Oh, wow. So that means in the next 4, the Siege of Mandalore, that's what we're going to get to see, and Ahsoka is going to be working with Bo. she her and Maul are gonna come face to face.
Mm-hmm.
There's that conversation between Anakin and Ahsoka. I don't know if they're gonna get to meet in person or not.
Actually, they may not, because
but her and Rex meet in person.
Her and Rex. Well, she's probably going to team up with the Mandalorians, with the remainder of Death Watch, and they're going to go and try to do an infiltration, like to get to Maul, while the Republic is starting to move in. So Maul's going after them here, and they're sneaking in back, or something like that. Some kind of little...
You know what? It actually might be better if they actually don't come face to face, as in, like, the very last time Ahsoka turned her back on Anakin and left. Like, actually left. God, I love that episode so much. And they may have this, quick little interaction between holograms, and then the next time they actually face to face is Ahsoka versus Vader. And like and there's still kind of that bit like, do we know, does she know, does she not know, kind of a thing. I think she, deep in her heart,
well, she knew knows, she sensed him, and she was pretty sure who he was.
It's just shocking to know, like, to see this dark figure in front of you underneath the helmet and all that stuff,
being someone that you cared about
that
so much.
Anakin, it's got to be so shocking. And imagine, like, this is like the literally the final, like, last time sort of an interaction that they have. I can't wait. I think this final 4 episode coming up is going to be probably the best 4 out of this entire season. Just because, like, kind of all the things we talked about, it's what we want to see. I want to see Rex. I want to see a little bit more of Anakin. Like, Anakin is really not in this.
No, not very much at all.
He was in, like, the Bad Batch episodes, and that was it. Oh my god, what happened? It's this Clone Wars. I do love being able to see Ahsoka, though, and I'm glad that, going back to the Martez sisters, I was worried that one of them was going to end up sacrificing herself.
Yeah.
Maybe the older one, and that was going to be, like, soul crushing for Trace, because they had already lost their parents. Like, she has no one else, so then maybe her and Ahsoka would go on, like, their own little journey. But it turns out that they, after Ahsoka came clean about who she really is, she's trained as a Jedi, she's not with the Jedi anymore, and the funniest moment was like, you can do that? It's like, oh, surprise! You can actually leave the Jedi Order.
Yeah, and they actually said, what is it? You are the Jedi that we hoped other Jedi would be.
Oh, man. There was just a lot that went in that episode, and I honestly wished, a part of me, that each episode was a little bit longer, because I feel like it would be a little bit more filled out, because you said something when we're watching the episode that the demeanor that Rafa had towards Ahsoka changed very quickly.
Yeah.
At the end, you thought she
went from 0 to not trusting her at all to trusting her 100%.
So, like, you can always come back and whatever.
Yeah.
So, and a part of me feels that it may be a little quick, but also she really did save her life, and it maybe let her see that not all Jedis are what she remembered. So maybe there's a little bit of that, but also I don't feel like it's completely true to her character of what we've seen, because she's been so skeptical. Like, she just doesn't have trust in anyone, which is understandable, because look at what she's been through.
Yeah.
She just lived a pretty hard life. So I get where you're coming from when you said it, but I was happy to kind of have that, like, well-rounded, closed out and ending that we can have to this story arc, so we can finally move on to the final arc. I can't believe it's coming to an end already. It feels like it's way too fast, and it just feels...
Yep, only 4 more episodes.
Yeah, so we will do another review for you guys when Friday's episode comes out. We finally get to watch The Siege of Mandalore.
Yeah.
Yes, I can't wait. Well, you guys, that's it for this review for Clone Wars Together Again. Let us know what you thought of the episode in Clone Wars so far in the comment section below. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any new videos from us. Also, we stream live every Wednesday and Saturday, so make sure you join us then as well. And we will see you next time.